All right, so really quickly, guys. So a couple of you guys have sent this in to me, and I want to see what this is actually about. You sent me two parts, so apparently these two videos go together. So we can go ahead and make this into one large video combining two specific clips. This first clip is called Sean Strickland. He's a fighter for UFC. Absolutely destroys reporter. No context here. Let's go and check it out. Then after this one, we have Dana White kind of speaking or mentioning something about this. So let's see where this takes us, guys. Let's go jump into this immediately.
I did want to ask, you're in Toronto. Welcome. Glad to hear it. It's been great.
Are you Canadian?
Of course I am.
Are you part of the fucking opposition? Are you?
I don't know how to phrase that.
You got like fucking. Yeah.
Well, I did want to ask.
Did you vote for Trudeau?
I'm not going to say.
And let me tell you something right now. If a man says he's not going to say, like, if you ask him, motherfucker, did you vote for Biden? He's like, well, I'm not going to say. That's none of your business. He voted for fucking Biden.
Sean.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, if you're going to be like, oh, I'm not going to say, you're most likely voted for the person who the person is asking you about. Most likely, but let's see what this takes.
So, hey.
Sean, I'm glad you had great experiences.
So this is what I'm talking about, you guys. The enemy.
Bro, what does this man's shirt say? Woman in every kitchen.
Me of Canada.
Sure.
All right.
That's what it's got to be. It's got to be. We've got a pretty supportive gay and lesbian community in this city. I did want to ask you about something you wrote a couple of years ago. You said, if I had a gay son, I would think I'd...
Oh, look, another. I'm saying to you, the swamp, you guys, the swamp.
You become a champion, you become a star, and someone says...
Let me ask you something. Are you gay?
Have you had the chance to interact with a more diverse...
Are you... Let me know. Are you gay?
Could I get an answer?
Well, no, I'm asking. This is a part of... Are you a gay man?
I'm an ally of the community.
Okay. If you had a son and he was like, you had a son, he was gay, you'd be like, oh man, you don't want a grandkid?
No problem with it.
Oh man, well, dude, you're a weak fucking man, dude. You're part of the fucking problem. You elected Justin Trudeau, like, when he sees the bank accounts, like, you're just fucking pathetic. And the fact that you have no fucking backbone, and has he shut down your country and seized bank accounts? You ask me some stupid shit like that, go yourself. Move the fuck on, man.
That doesn't really answer the question, but I did want to ask also things you said about the trans community. You said this past October when they announced the Bud Light sponsorship that you'd go so hard on Bud Light in your next fight, they'll have to accept me or denounce me when they know what, and will know what they stand for. Are you still going to use your fight time to kind of speak on that?
Here's the thing about Bud Light. 10 years ago, to be trans was a mental fucking illness. And now all of a sudden, people like you have fucking weaseled your way into the world. You are an infection. You are the definition of weakness. Everything that is wrong with the world is because of fucking you. And the best thing is the world's not buying it. The world's not buying your fucking bullshit you're fucking peddling. The world is not saying, you know what? You're right. Chicks have dicks. The world's not saying that. The world's saying, no, there are two genders. I don't want my kids being taught about, who they could fuck in school. I don't want my kids being taught about, their preference. Like, dude, this guy is the enemy. You want to look at the enemy to our world? It's that motherfucker right there, asking these stupid questions.
I did want to ask.
Okay. Whoa, buddy, that was a lot here. All right, so I think what it comes down to here, he has a very specific opinion, and he's not going to be swayed from said opinion. You give somebody like this guy right here a microphone. Guys, I think Dave Chappelle probably said it the best here when a reporter asked Manny Pacquiao, another guy who he came out of a country where they honestly are not considered the most masculine, right? And so he came out of this country and he made it out of there with his, I guess for the most part, his masculinity intact. So what person do you think you probably shouldn't ask questions like this to? Probably Manny Pacquiao. All right, a lot of these fighters you probably shouldn't be asking these questions to, but you want the headline, if that makes any sense, right? This man's shirt is wild, in fact, but I don't think that I don't even know what is this. This shirt is crazy, bro. All right. I don't think every woman belongs in the kitchen, and I definitely don't think everyone should have a gun in their hand. I'm absolutely a Second Amendment lover, right? In terms of like the sport of it, let's say. I carry every single day, but I'm not going to say that everyone else around me should also be carrying every single day, right? People's mannerisms and dispositions towards life are completely off, let's say, right? But now here at the end here, he kind of makes a couple of like, I'll give him a valid point here, right? A solid, valid point.
Your way in the world. You are an infection.
Well,
you
probably
are
not this
because
part.
of you.
You're kind of by saying that this guy's an infection. All he's really doing is now putting everything that he dislikes about this community onto him directly. I don't know what he specifically has to do with it, but.
And the best thing is the world's not buying it. The world's not buying your fucking bullshit.
The world is, right? If coming from his standpoint, at least, the world has bought it.
You're fucking peddling. The world is not saying, you know what? You're right. Chicks have.
Like specifically, he's referring to a subsection of, if you leave the Western world, absolutely not. None of this is going to be accepted. It will never be. Then you have obviously some pockets in the United States of America that also are just not going to be accepting of it.
The world's not saying that. The world's saying, no, there are two genders. I don't want my kids being taught about, who they could fuck in school. I don't want my kids being taught about.
But this is fair. This is also extremely fair. I will take my child out of school if any of this is being spoken to in school. I'm telling you, they will not be going into that school any longer. Homeschool for the win. Period. I don't care. I'll hire a tutor. I'll hire a teacher specifically for my kid. But under no circumstance will I allow my kid to be in a school where this is being taught. Not me. It has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that I don't think that it's appropriate to be speaking about in schools with children. I don't like the idea of that. But all right, let's do it.
Now, there's preference. Like, dude, this guy is the enemy.
He's not really the enemy. The ideology is different than yours. He, in fact, is stuck in an echo chamber. Factually, let's just be real here. What we are encountering right now are two people coming from two separate worldviews, literally two separate worldviews, coming together and asking a question from within their echo chamber to someone that is in a completely opposing echo chamber. This was never going to work. It makes good TV though. So let's go ahead and jump into the next interview, guys.
Dana, I just want to go back. You were talking about, like, you obviously give a long leash to your fighters about, what they can say when they are up there with a UFC microphone, and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia. Like, is there?
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you.
A leash?
Like
free speech. I control what people say. Gonna tell people what to believe. Gonna tell people. I don't fucking tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes on any of them. What is your question?
I was asking that question. I'll move on, though.
Yeah, probably a good idea. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want, and they can believe whatever they want. And I don't think there's any. We had two gay women who fought in the co-main event. They sat on the stage with Sean Strickland. They could give a shit what Sean Strickland thinks, or what he says, or what his beliefs are, or what his opinions are. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah, guys. Okay, so this is a response most likely to the other one, is what I'm catching here. It almost sounds like it's the same exact person, the interviewer. Guys, you have to know where you are. Like, be accepting and know instantly that you're not going to change the mind of another human being because you want it so bad, right? And in fact, I would say it's more on the side of the people who are 100% down with the cause, let's say. They're the ones who would want freedom of speech, in terms of this type of freedom of speech, to be curtailed a lot, right? In terms of making people follow exactly how you think, you want everyone else to think like that, that's kind of an issue, bro, right? I mean, it's definitely going to come from the side of people that would be a lot more interested in pushing a very specific narrative.
When they are up there with a UFC microphone and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia, like, is there?
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you.
A leash?
Like
free speech. I control what people say.
There is a large portion of society currently in the United States of America that absolutely want to control what you say and think and overall feel. They want your overall ideologies to shift to their specific echo chamber. And if it doesn't, then you're the bad guy. That's kind of how that works. And unfortunately, it's always going to work like that, right? Specifically with something as polarizing as, what's currently going on in the United States of America, Europe, Australia, Israel.
Going to tell people what to believe? Going to tell people? I don't fucking tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that's the reason why they ask you specifically this question, because even though you're answering this question extremely logically, I hear it, and I hear it for exactly what it is. The person that is asking you this question is wanting the soundbite, right? Because the other side of your echo chamber, or whatever echo chamber he may be in, for example, the other side is going to use that as, how dare this bad, evil man say he's not going to change his vocabulary for me, right? That's what they hear when they hear these things. But this interview here wasn't crazy or off the rails. The other one was a little wild. But what never will offend me is someone that has a different thought than me, right? If you think differently, it's completely fine. I welcome it. Because why? There may be some validity in that here, guys. Like, I'm absolutely not a fan of anything Justin Trudeau oriented. That's not it, bro. All right, that is not it. Okay, that you guys have a bad prime minister up there, bro. All right, you do better. I'm telling you. But again, the United States of America hasn't had, and doesn't have a great leader neither, right? I mean, we're just two groups of people, right? We had Trump, we had Biden, we have Trudeau. Guys, all of these people are terrible to me personally. I don't like any of them, right? So we had Obama. Guys, we had a bad run of like leaders. Okay, can we please do better? All right. But either way, listen. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.